Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For Pause in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today I'm going to be talking about some 5-star predictions. So it's been a really long time since I've done a 5-star prediction video, and I really kind of suck at it. I don't apparently know what my reading taste is. In the past, when I've done these 5-star prediction videos, they've gone horribly wrong. I also really just struggle with like what a 5-star read means to begin with. I did a vlog about a month and a half ago. I'll link it up above. I essentially went into an existential crisis trying to figure out, you know, what it meant to be a 5-star read and like, is that perfection? I don't really know. So that's a problem, but you know, we're gonna try to do this anyways. So today I have 5 books that I think I'm going to be giving 5 stars. This month I am participating in Battleathon, which is a readathon that's created by Mel over at Melanor Reads. I'll link her video down below. And essentially the whole point of this is to read books that you're going to enjoy, read books that you think are going to give, like you're gonna give 5 stars. You get more points for a higher rated book. So the idea is you want to read books that you're excited about. So my thought is I'm going to pick 5 books and then I'm going to try to vlog them. You may not see the vlog actually come out until October, but I am going to be trying to read all of these books in September to try to give my team as many points as possible. So I have a variety of books here, a variety of genres. So I'm hoping it'll be an interesting project and we'll just go from there. And I really hope I give these books 5 stars because I'm really excited about all of them. First, let's talk about our thrillers and horrors. I have 1 thriller, 1 horror. I am on a Darcy Coates kick right now. Like, spooky season is great. In the past week, I have read 3 Darcy Coates books. I gave 1 4 stars and 2 5 stars. So I believe that I will also love this book. Now I have quite a few of Darcy's backlist books that I own, but this is one that I'm just really intrigued by. And so I know that I love her writing style. Some of the storylines have not always worked, but I think this one might. So the first one is Hunted, and this is about a woman who disappears and her camera is found with some weird disturbing pictures on it. No one can find her body, so she is still missing and it's just her camera. And so they're trying to use her camera to essentially find out where she is. It sounds like it's definitely like a thriller horror mix because it kind of starts out as a thriller, but there's one sentence on the synopsis that says, a small group strays farther from the trails and the unsettling discoveries mount. They begin to realize that they're not alone and Eileen's disappearance was no accident. And I know Darcy Coates goes paranormal quite a bit, so I think that might be what this is. But anyway, I think I'm going to give this one 5 stars. The other one that I think I'm going to give 5 stars to is Dark Corners by Megan Golden. I reread The Night Swim during the Amazing Readathon and fell in love with it all over again, and this is essentially the next season of the podcast. This deals with an influencer that I think is being stalked, and that just sounds like such an interesting premise. I also really love Megan's stories. I love her writing style, so I really think that I'm gonna love this one, especially on the heels of rereading The Night Swim and just absolutely loving that one. I will definitely be listening to this one on audio as it has a podcast element to it, and in The Night Swim the podcast element is amazing. So I know that this one's going to be fantastic as well. Now let's talk about some romance books. I have 2, one light and fluffy, rom-com-y, and one that is darker. We'll start with the fluffy one. That one is going to be Teach Me by Olivia Day. Now this is actually the group book for Rom-Comathon, and we have had very bad luck with group books for Rom-Comathon, so I'm putting a lot of hope and expectations into this book. But I love Olivia Day's writing. I gave all 3 of the Spoiler Alert series 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. This is her indie series, and I know a lot of times with authors that write traditionally published romance and then also have an indie series, they are better. They're more steamy, they're more spicy, they go a little farther. Talia Hibbert is a fantastic example of that, and I feel like Olivia Day will also be. This is about a woman who is a teacher and her favorite world history class was given to a new teacher, and so she is sworn to hate him. But obviously that's not going to be as easy as it seems because he's hot. Olivia Day writes fantastic plus-size romance. Her representation is so accurate, so true, and I just love her books. I love her books, and I cannot wait to read this one for Rom-Comathon. And then my darker romance is a little bit of a risk. I think of all of these books on here, this is the biggest risk, and that is Sinner by Sierra Simone. And the reason I say it's such a risk is because I read her Camelot trilogy years ago, which is American Queen, American Prince, and American King, and I loved American Queen. 5 stars, so spicy, so smutty, absolutely loved it. And then American Prince was one of my worst books of that year. It wasn't good at all. And then I also know that the Lesson in Thorns series, the first one everybody really liked, and then the second one people didn't like as much. I have not read that duology, so I don't have an opinion on that, but I absolutely loved Priest. It was so good. It's so spicy. It's, you know, religious trauma and all of that stuff in a smutty romance. And I gave it 5 stars. I read it during Smut Den. I'll link that vlog up above. It was a time. But this is the second book in that series. So it's a risk because I'm afraid that maybe Sierra doesn't know how to write second books in series. I know that a lot of people really love this one specifically, and they actually say that Priest is their least favorite in this series, and I gave that one 5 stars. So maybe I will love this series. I don't know, I own all of them at this point. Lastly, I'm gonna put a fantasy on here, and again, this is a little bit of a risk because fantasies are very hit or miss for me, but I've heard fantastic things about this book, and I absolutely loved the first one in the series, and so I'm going to be putting A Shade of Madness by Tiago Abdallah on here. This is the second book following A Touch of Light, and this is an epic fantasy with a large like religious undertone, but an author-created religious undertone. There is one culture that celebrates life and one culture that celebrates death, and so obviously they're gonna not be at peace. There are griffins, obviously, like in this one. And the audiobook just came out for this one, so I'll definitely be immersion reading this book. Because that's what I did for A Touch of Light, and I absolutely loved it, so we'll see what happens. This is definitely a series, or at least A Touch of Light was definitely a book that did not hold your hand through the process. It just kind of threw you into the deep end. You kind of knew what the character knew, which was not a lot, but it was such a fascinating journey, and it was an adventure. It was a ride to go on. So I have high hopes for this one. All right, so these are 5 books that I want to read that I think I'm going to give 5 stars to. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm going to try to do a vlog with all of these, and we'll go from there. Let me know down in the comments below if you think I'm going to love these books. If you know my reading taste, let me know. And if you haven't read these, let me know a book that you think you will give 5 stars to. If you're not feeling chatty, put a star emoji down in the comments below. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye!